Before we get into it, if you enjoyed these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button, and keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as, investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. All right, folks, here we are on Saturday, March 1st. We're going to take a look at SoFi today. So I've been eyeing SoFi for a while. As I had mentioned, I had a feeling that it was going to have a bit of a downturn. It has had that. It's kind of double bottomish range at the moment, but I wanted to talk about what I'm looking for a potential entry point and where I would be looking for it to go from there. So to me, the ideal entry point, I don't know if it'll get there, but 1283. That 1283 to me would be really enticing. It's at the moment trying really hard to hold on to this 1390 range, right? And it put in a bottom there, another bottom there, and that's where it took off. And so now it's coming down and sort of doing the same thing, putting in a bottom there and a bottom there. But, maybe this is going to kind of like bear flag up a little bit and come down. I don't know. But that 1283 is really what I am looking for in order to try to get back in. If it doesn't get there, it doesn't get there, and I can reevaluate. But that's my goal at the moment. The other option is it gets there and it keeps dipping. If it does that, then I'm okay to look toward this 1131. But certainly if it can't hold that, then I would feel not very interested in continuing the trade, and just endlessly dollar cost averaging down or something. But yeah, this is my range, but 1283 is really my ideal. If I can get 1283, these are my buy levels, right? That's what I have in the Weeble chart. I'm saying 1283. On the Thinkorswim side of things, that's where I have my ideal price target. So if I can get in around 1283, if it starts to move in March, I don't know if it will. I'm okay to hold for more than a month, but if it does start to move in March, I'd be looking for call trigger level here at 1519. If we get nice motion through there, my next level would be 1635 here, and my sort of ideal level to sort of see it reach and maybe taking a bulk of profit or all profit would be 1752. That would be my swing, 1283 to 752. I'd feel good about that. The thing to keep in mind about this, which is different than these levels aren't going to change unless this whole setup busts, which wouldn't happen unless it dipped down, toward this 938 again. But these levels here, these are dynamic, and so these shift as additional price action gets put in. So what is 1752 right now may end up being 1721 later in the month, or it may end up being 1840. It just depends what the price action looks like. And so I will adjust, but that would be my goal right now, is that top +1 ATR level. Based off of what I have on the Think or Swim side of things. I don't know if it'll get spicy enough to make it there. Like I said, I look for swing trades somewhere to hold them between 2 weeks and 2 months. If I get really good profit and I get out prior to 2 weeks, okay with that. If the setup busts in less than 2 weeks and I get out, I'm okay with that. But if things take some time to evolve and it's 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, okay, so be it. As long as if the play is still valid, I'm happy to try to continue to see it through. But those are my levels that I'm looking at the moment. Now, the other thing to keep in mind, we're talking here about 1283. If we look at the EMAs at the moment, speaking of dynamic, it's at 1220. The 183 EMA is at 1220. Now, it doesn't have to come all the way down to the 183 to move, right? This didn't hit it penny for penny, right? It came within range, and then it had this really nice run. You could have about doubled your money if you caught that run in a pretty brief period of time. SoFi has had so much bearish activity. I don't know if there's going to be another really good example, but sort of like on this dip, this isn't the greatest example, but this dip caught some support and tried to make a bit of a leg here. It's more like a bear flag than anything, but it didn't come down and have to test it before it had a little bit of bounce. If you took this one, you would have gotten in about 8, you could have gotten out about 9 percentage wise. What are you racking in there, like 10-11%, something like that? So you might feel very good about that in a relatively short period of time. So I don't know that it'll come all the way down to the 183. You know, if I were just looking at the EMAs, that's standard. I would feel really good about buying in at the 183. But if it continues to be down here around, you know, a little bit lower than the 1283, like I had said, I'm okay. I feel okay dollar cost averaging down into this range, you know, ahead of that 1131. You see that it was a good resistance zone there that it broke through, and then it sort of broke out from there. So I feel okay, and that would align, you know, more succinctly with that, right? This is situated kind of in the middle, you know, a little bit closer to the 1283, but it's in the middle of those two ranges there. So that's why I say 1283 is where I might start accumulating and getting really interested. And if it continues to dip a little bit, I'm always happy to come in and try to catch some support, even if it's a short-lived thing off of the 183, and see what I can ride from there. To me, the important thing is always like have your plan and stick to it. So when it says it's time to get out, even if you feel really crappy about getting out and taking loss, get out. You know, holding a bag for a long time is not fun, and you know, many of us know it all too well. So yeah, those are my levels: 1283 down to the 183 EMA, and then looking for whatever the +1 ATR level is. Ideally, right? That's best case scenario, but I'm happy to take the call trigger or the interim, the mid +1 ATR between the call trigger and the +1. All right, folks, so I hope that you have a nice weekend. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video.